This time on Talking Vehicles with Joe, I'm going to start talking to you about some of the 40 vehicles that I've owned. I'll give you a description of each one and give you a little bit of information about what my impression of it was. But at some point in the future, I'm also going to do a video talking about some of the fun and funny things that happened with each vehicle. The very first vehicle that I ever owned was a brand new 1978 Mercury Zephyr Z7. Now, the Zephyr was the new vehicle that Ford and Lincoln Mercury had introduced on their then brand new Fox platform. The Fox platform was a wonderful platform. It had a great combination of ride and handling, although it was rear-wheel drive. But that Zephyr was really not too good of a car. The biggest problem with it was the build quality wasn't so great. And the motor and transmission, the engine and transmission rather, I had a 2.3 liter with the automatic transmission. And the 2.3 liter I had some serious problems. It was factory rated at 88 horsepower. There's no way it was even close to that. I had taken it to several shops, taken it back to the dealership, and taken it to several independent shops to have them look at it. Nobody could really figure out what was wrong with it. They all agreed there was something wrong with it. It wasn't up to par performance-wise, but they couldn't find what was wrong with it. That car was so slow. I remember one time I was getting on a highway. I'd come to a stop at an entrance ramp, and I planted my right foot, floorboarded the accelerator, and counted how long it took to get up to 60 miles an hour. And it was almost 20 seconds. Now, that car should not have been that slow. I mean, a 2.3 liter in that car was not a race car by any stretch of the imagination, but it was quite slow. That car had 4 options on it when I bought it. It had power steering, power brakes, automatic transmission, and white wall tires. And that was it. No radio, no air conditioning. I put an aftermarket stereo, actually a pretty good one, and 4 speakers, and the sound in the car was pretty good. It was an 8-track tape player. But that car, that lack of performance and the poor build quality grew old pretty quick. So after about a year to a year and a half, I decided to trade the car in. I bought a 1979 Dodge Diplomat Medallion. Now, the Medallion was the top of the line Diplomat, and it had kind of a formal roof line with kind of a formal upper window in the rear, padded vinyl roof, had velour interior, split front bench seat with power on the driver's side. It was a little bit oddly equipped too because it had power seats and power locks, but no power windows. It had the 318 V8 and the Torque Flight automatic. I think it was the 904 with the lockup torque converter, and was a very nice car. Even though the 318 was only down to about 150 horsepower at that point, it moved the car more than adequately for the size of the car. The car had a great ride, great handling, and actually was reasonably well built. Now, I had that car for a little over a year, and while I had that car, I saw my sister's boyfriend had a 1967 Dodge Charger that it was white with a black interior. Now, this again is in about 1980. So the car at this point is 13 years old, and he wants to sell the car. And I saw a for sale sign on it one day. And I asked him how much he wanted for it. He told me, and I bought the car. Now, the car was one of the coolest cars that I've ever owned. If you're familiar with Dodge Chargers of that era, the 66 and 67, they had an electroluminescent dash. Instead of the numbers just being painted on a gauge pod with a floodlight shining on them at night, when you turned the headlights on, the numbers actually lit up and glowed. The whole dash was like that. So that was really cool. The car had the hidden headlights, which actually worked, which was pretty rare on old Chargers. It had the tail lights all the way across the back. It had the cool fastback styling. It had in essence, 4 bucket seats, two seats in the rear that folded down with a rear console in between them. The 67 actually had turn signal monitors out at the end of the edge of the front fender. It was just a cool car. It was a 383 two-barrel car, and I really liked that car. But it had serious problems. It had serious rust problems. And I didn't keep that car too long. My sister's boyfriend actually wanted to buy it back after he sold it, so I sold it back to him. After I got rid of that Charger, I bought a 1974 Mercury Capri. Now, the Capri I bought it was used. It had the 2.8 V6, automatic transmission, air conditioning, AM/FM Blaupunkt stereo, had road wheels. It had the decor package, so it had the upgraded interior and a vinyl roof. And that was a nice little car. I really liked that car a lot. Now, my parents needed a couple of cars. They bought both the Diplomat and the Capri from me. And those became their cars. I was again in the market for a car. And I wanted something a little bit sportier, a little bit more fun to drive. And I was driving past a Ford dealer one day, and I saw on the used lot a 1976 Pontiac Grand Prix. Now, I had a real fondness in my heart for those Grand Prix because a friend of mine owned a 77 that he bought brand new. And I loved that car. He would let me drive it on occasion. And it was just a great driving and handling car, and I really enjoyed it. So I saw this 76 Grand Prix, obviously used, but it looked like it was in great condition. It was yellow with a black vinyl top, white bucket seat interior, and it had Hurst T-roofs on it. And I thought, wow, what a cool car. And I bought that car very emotionally. If I had spent a little bit more time kind of investigating the car, I probably never would have bought it because those T-roofs leaked profusely. I could never make them stop leaking. I took them back to the Pontiac dealer. They did an update on the roofs. They still leaked. And that car wasn't around very long because the interior was getting moldy. The carpet was starting to deteriorate from the leaking. So I decided I had to get rid of that car. So I got rid of that and wound up with a 1981 Buick Regal that I bought, or 1980 Buick Regal, I'm sorry, that I bought in late 1981. It had about 12,000 miles on it when I bought it. It had the Pontiac 301 V8 in it. It was a Regal Limited, so really nice car. Again, very oddly equipped. It had a power driver's seat, but no power windows, no power locks, but it did have tilt wheel and cruise control. And an AM/FM 8-track radio in it with a really, really good sound system. It was a really nice car that I really liked a lot. It had Buick road wheels. It was a deep burgundy, kind of reddish burgundy color with a white top, had a white body side molding, and the Buick road wheels. It was a really beautiful car. I loved that car, hated to get rid of it, but circumstances occurred that I had to. That's all I'm going to tell you about the list of cars that I've owned so far. The next video will be the next, I'll continue the list of cars that I own. And I'm going to go through all 40 cars, just give you kind of a quick description of them. And again, I told you I'll do a future video where I talk more about some of the fun adventures I had with each of the cars and some of the crazy things that happened to them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you know somebody that might like it, share the video with them. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe too. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe Ferguson. We'll see you for the next Talking Vehicles with Joe.